आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलम् इन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मा ते मयि सन्तु Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We are meeting after a long gap and we have to remember the context. We had read up to third mantra of the 18th section of the third chapter of Chandogya Upanishad. What had we read in the 18th section? Mano Brahma iti upasita एतत् अध्यात्मम् अथ अधिदैवतम् आकाशो ब्रह्म इति उभय अधिष्टम् भवति अध्यात्मम् च अधिदैवतम् च mind, because mind thinks of Brahman, mind quickly goes to Brahman, though he may not be able to reach there, yet it is the mind with which man attempts to reach Brahman. And mind is inside a man's personality. So that is the Adhyatma relating to his own personality. The best symbol of Brahman is mind. Outside, if we see Adidaivatam, relation to the cosmic Prakriti, we see Akasha, the primordial matter, that is the best representative of Brahman. So take Akasha to be Brahman. In this way, we have told you both the inner and outer. That means that there is a connection between the two. It is the mind which can think of the Akasha, and Akasha will remind him of the transcendental Brahman. Akasha pervades everything. Akasha is the very subtle. Brahman is subtler than Akasha. Brahman pervades even Akasha. So through mind you can think like that and go beyond Akasha. So these two have been connected in a way. Then Tadetat Chatushpad Brahma. So in this way, you can meditate upon Saguna Brahma, which has 4 quarters. Now, when you are internally thinking, Vani is 1 quarter, Tadetat Chatushpad Brahma, Vakpada, Pranapada, Chakshupada, Shrotram Pada, iti Adhyatmam. So inside Brahman consists of 4 quarters. One is 1 quarter. Prana, the vitality in all the Indriyas, is another quarter. Eyes are a quarter. Legs are a quarter. So this is about the inner personality. 1, 2 of the organs of action, organ of hearing, organ of knowledge, and prana, the vitality within all that. So that is the detailed about mind being the representative of Brahman. And here the cosmic also has been told, Atha Agni, Atha Adidaivatam Agnihi Pada Vayu Pada Aditya Pado Disha Pada iti Uvayameva Adishtam Bhavati Adhyatmam cha Adidaivatam cha. So these are the 4 quarters from the cosmic point of view, Vayu, directions, Aditya and Vayu. Agni, Vayu, Aditya and directions. These are the four parts of the cosmic entity. So in this way, details of both Mana Brahma and Akasha Brahma have been told. So they get connected with each other. Through mind we can think of the cosmic, and that cosmic will lead us to supracosmic or transcendent Brahman. Though we are at present connected only with the Saguna Brahman, but through Saguna we can approach the Nirguna by seeing the connection between the inner and outer Brahma. What is the cause of this connection? Both of them are the manifestations of one who is beyond our personality individual, who is beyond the cosmic, and it is the transcendent Purna Brahma. Then in the third mantra, their connection between is being shown. Vageva Brahmanas Chaturtha Pada, so Agnina Jyotisha Bhaticha Tapaticha. Bhaticha Tapaticha Kirtyam Yashasa Brahma Varchasena Ye Evam Veda. So Vani is 1/4 of Brahman, and when cosmic Agni, which is the Anugrahaka Devata of Vani, its light and its heat, they heat Vani, and then only Vani can function. That is the Anugrahaka Devata. And then because this is an Upasana, so fruit for showing the utility in life also is shown. So a person who worships like that, his fame shines, his fame spreads, his success shines, his success spreads, and the shine on his face, which is due to the well study of Brahman, also shines and heats up the whole world. That is the result of one who knows this. That means who worships both mind as Brahman and Akasha as Brahman. Now in the same flow, we could read only the third mantras. In the same flow, we can read the fourth. Prana eva brahmanas chaturtha pada sa vayuna jyotisha bhati cha tapati cha kirtyam yashasa brahmavarchasena ya evam veda. Now, Vak was a part. So, next part is taken prana, and that is the 1/4 of Brahman. And outside, if you see the wind blowing, so only when the wind blows, then by that blowing, only by the life force, by the energy flowing, the prana, the vitality in the man shines, hits up others. So that is the completion of the other individual and cosmic part. They are correlated because the reality is transcendent over both of them. Because of one reality, they both help each other. And so one who knows this, one who worships like this, get the same result. Result is same because this also adds to his fame, this also adds to his success, this also adds to the glow of his face. Then next, Chakshureva Brahmanas Chaturtha Pada स आदित्येन ज्योतिषा भाति च तपति च भाति च तपति च कीर्त्या यशसा ब्रह्मवर्चसेन य एवं वेद. So eyes, the organ of perception, the third part of the four parts. So that is also a quarter of Brahman. And Aditya, the Anugrahaka Devata, supporting God of eyes. If there is no sun, we cannot see unless there is an external light. All external lights are represented by the sun, the natural extension, external lights. They only support our vision. And because of that only, our vision shines, our vision heats up all the lokas. And one who knows this means one who worships this, he has the same result. That is fame, that is success, that is shine on the face. They all increase, shine, and spread throughout the world. Then, fourth quarter, Shrotramev Brahmanas Chaturtha Pada Sadigbir Jyotisha Bhati Cha Tapati Cha Bhati Cha Tapati Cha Kirtya Yashasa Brahmavarchasena Ya Evam Veda Ya Evam Veda. So, fourth part, ears. Now, these two, eyes and ears, represent all organic perception, and they are the strongest, having most effect on our life. So out of all organs of perception, and they reach wherever that object may be. So they are mentioned as representative of all organs of perception, and they have their anugrahaka devatas, with their supporting gods in the cosmic eyes, cosmic ears, without which these eyes or ears cannot function. And so there, for the ears, the cosmic gods are all directions, the all quarters, and for the organ of hearing, Aditya is the Anugrahaka Devata. So these same commentary on all the three mantras, Prana eva brahmana chaturtha pada sa vayuna gandhaya bhati cha tapati cha. So prana here also represents the smelling organ, and for smelling organ, the beautiful smell Vayu brings to it, and then only it smells. Tatha chakshur adityena rupa grahanaya, and eyes, for the sake of percepting some form, it is sunlight which makes us perceive any form. Shrotram digbe shabda grahanaya, and Shrotra have to catch sounds, words, and that with the help of the limits of the world directions. They only help a sound to travel to us, and so Vidyaphalam Samanam. And the result of the upasanas is same everywhere, individually, sarvatra, brahma sampatti, adrushtam phalam cha evam veda. And adrushta phala, that is the unseen result, the transcendent result everywhere, is the realization of Saguna Brahma. That is not mentioned. Ya evam Veda, this Virukti, Vidya, because this type of Upasana description is completed. The section also is completed, And so the topic is completed, and therefore evam veda is repeated like a full stop, like the topic ending, like the paragraph ending. That is the Shankar's commentary. So we, in the 17th and 18th together, we get a beautiful idea that individual and cosmic, they are correlated, they help each other because the transcendent Brahman is at back of them. And the one helps the other helps this. In this way, our spiritual life starts by being able to recognize correct representations of Saguna Brahma. We can always meditate on Saguna Brahma with all its parts, with the help of these symbols, mind with all its parts, Akasha with all its parts corresponding. That is the end of this topic. Then we come to 19th section. Now, previously, Aditya is the best representative of Brahman was told previously, not these two. Previously, Aditya was shown to be another representative of Brahman. So, details about that worship also are necessary. So, they are being supplied to complete that upasana. Adityo Brahmaiti Adesha. Adesha means prescription by the Shastras. Seeing some similarity, tasya upavyakyanam. So going near and explaining that with demonstration is necessary. Asadeva idam agre asit. All that we see in the beginning now was not there, was never seen. It was in the subtle form. It was not at all seen. It was in the indiscrete form. We did not see it. That Sat Asit, that itself became manifested, that itself we started perceiving. That Samabhavat. So it became born nicely. It became nicely manifested. That andam niravartata. So that was like an egg because it was not fully manifested, and that breaking the egg, it come out. The subtle became gross. So that is like breaking the egg and manifesting fully. It became egg. First unmanifested, then semi-manifested is egg. Some manifestation is there, we see the egg, but everything is within that egg. And then Sat Samvatsarasya Matram Atishayate. So for about an year, cosmic year, it remained in the egg state, sleeping in the egg. Then Niravidyata, then it broke, became fully manifested. Te Anda Kapale Rajatam cha Suvarnam cha Abhavatam. So both the skulls of the egg were shining differently. You may say male and female, active and passive, gold and silver. Gold and silver are the best elements of all the elements shining, and within that gold is superior. So it is like man and woman, it is like a couple, both are equally important, but one is more dominant. So they are the representative when the egg becomes manifested. Till then, there is no subject and object difference. Till then, there is no man and woman difference unless we see the full manifestation. That is the lesson. In Brahman, absolutely no break. When it becomes the egg, inside there may be, but outside we do not see. And when it finally takes shape, becomes bodies, then only we see there is a male and a female. Both are important, but one is more dominant. That is the lesson of this mantra. Shankaracharya says, Adityo Brahmana Padokta iti tasmin sakala Brahma drishtyartham idam arabhyate. So, Aditya was told to be a part of Brahman, but now we want to see the full Brahman in that part. Then only we can do Upasana. So, this section is begun to show Aditya as a full representation of Brahman. Aditya was told as a quarter of Brahman, but we want to see the full Brahman in the light, in the consciousness, which represented by Aditya. So, this section is begun, Aditya Brahma iti Adesha. So, Adesha, the final prescription for Upasana is Aditya. Tasya Upavyakhyanam Kriyate Stutyartham. Some details of that Upasana are being told to praise that. Praise means to show the effectivity of that conception. Asad avyakruta namarupamidam jagad ashesham agre pragavasthaya. Before creation, the world was not manifested, means names and forms were not attached to the world power. Unmanifested means names and forms which distinguish things between this and that were not manifested, were not functioning there in that state. That is the only meaning of cause and effect. Effect means when the names, when a thing gets its name and a particular form, then only we say it is manifested. So this great principle of being manifested through names and forms are being described in this section so that we get a clear conception and our upasana functions rightly and raises our mind to the perception of full Saguna Brahman and conception of the beyond. Idam Jagat Ashesham, this total world without exception, agre, before it was created, pragavasthayam, utpattehe, before the state of creation, this was this, asid, natu, asadeva. So don't say that there was nothing from which something has come. Don't say like that. It was there. Only names and forms were not manifested. So it is called unreal because it is not seen. It is not perceived without names and forms. Katham asata sajjayeta iti asat karyam tu asya pratishedhat. So there in the 6th chapter, it will be said that some people say that there was nothing in the beginning, but then reason tells us that from nothing, nothing can come out. And so, for that, negating the possibility of something coming out of nothing, this is being stated, that it had no names and forms, that's all. Nanu iha asadeva iti vidhanad vikalpasyat. So a doubt is coming. There the argument might have been there, but here directly is being told that it was nothing there. न क्रियासु इव वस्तुनि विकल्प अनुपपत्तेः. Kriyasu iva, that means actions, this or that, cannot be true. Similarly, one place, one thing, other place, other thing, about truth cannot be there. This is the first argument in reply, that if that is there, here also the same thing. Nanu katham tarhi idam asadeva iti, then tell us why here it is said that asat, only asat. ननु अवोचाम अव्याकृत नाम रूप असद इव असदिति. We are told like non-existence simply because names and forms are not there. Have you not told that? Nanu eva shabdo avadharanartha. But here there is a word eva, which means certainly. Eva shabda is used for nishay, of certainty. So we cannot say eva. Eva means as if, eva means nishay. So it is not eva, it is eva here. And so seeing the words, something different is being told. Satyamevam natu sattva bhavam avadharayati. Then what it is being affirmed? Yes, what we say is true, that eva word is affirmation. But reality, absence of reality, absence of anything, zero-ness is not the thing to be affirmed there. Then what is that being affirmed? Kim tarhi vyakruta nama rupa abhavam avadharayati. What we told, manifested names and forms are absent. That much is the nishchaya. Nishchaya is not about total negation. Nishchaya is only about this, that the manifested name and form were not there. So due to name and form only, the world is perceived. Vyakruta namarupa bhavam avadharayati. Namarupa vyakruta vishaye sat shabda prayogo drishta. Because we see in the world, when names and forms are manifested, then we call the thing to be true. When we see a thing, when we perceive a thing, that is what scientists say. If we do not perceive, then how that is true? So in the world, what we call true is only manifested names and forms. And so that is being negated. Prayogo drishta tacha nama rupa vyakaranam adityayatam prayasho jagata. So manifestation mainly depends upon sun, mainly depends upon the consciousness behind. So that is what we see in the world. Tad abhave hi andam tama idam na pragyayeta kinchana iti ataha tatstuti. So in the absence of light, we do not see anything. And so we call it blind, we call it darkness. And so other than darkness, we do not see anything. And so this is the praise of that Aditya, that because of Aditya only we perceive names and forms. So rationally explained, reason according to what the text Vedas are telling. Reason not independent. Independent reason is leading you to nihilism. But don't do reasoning independently, basing upon the truth being manifested in the Veda mantras, do reasoning. And so we see we have to connect with the actual experience also. So the Vedanta is experiential science. And so reasoning without experience, your or of Brahmajnas must be there, then only the reasoning is proper. So don't reason like that. That eva, no. Don't reason only on the words of the Vedas, but what is your, everybody's experience, what is the knower's experience. On that, basing upon that only, we should reason. This is the praise of that. Pare vakye sat api idam pragutpattehe jagat asadeva iti adityam stauti brahmadrishti arhatvacha. So we have to get brahmadrishti on Aditya. And so it is being praised here that without the sunlight, without the consciousness, we do not perceive names and forms. And that is the only point being discussed here. Don't forget the context. Don't forget our experience and understand the transcendental truth from our experience that sunlight, which represents consciousness, only makes us aware of this woman and this man, of names and forms. And so, it is the praise of Aditya which represents consciousness. Aditya nimitto hi loke saditi vyavahara yatha asadeva idam rajna kulam sarvaguna sampanne purna varmani rajani asati iti tadvat. Now there is a kingly dynasty and Rajavarma was the king. Now the king has gone, so it is like Asat. Do we not use like that? That this Rajavansha, this a dynasty of the kings is practically nothing because the king himself is not there. We use such things in the world and so nothing is used for negligible, unnoticeable. So it is like that only. The Purna Varma was Sarvaguna Sampanna. He was possessor of many qualities and such Purna Varma has gone. So we say this Rajavansha has been extinguished as if. So that is where we see Upasana nacha sattvam asatvam va iya jagata pratipipadeshitam. This truth of the world, to make it zero, to make it non-existence, is not the thing which is being told here, which the rishis want to convey. Nowhere. Aditya Brahmaiti Upade Adesha Paratvat, because he has seen that Aditya is representative, can Aditya be representative of zero? So see the connection from all sides and then decide upon the meaning. The Vedas have told you Aditya is the representative of Brahman. Do you think that Aditya is the representative of zero or non-existence? So when Aditya has been told to be the representative, it has to be something positive. Thinking on that, make all your reasoning. Don't conclude about the zero, seeing that Aditya is told as its representative. Aditya cannot be the representative of absence of anything. It is light. Tad Sat Asit. So this one point is over. That it was Asat means the names and forms were not manifested. So now Tad Sat Asit. it became existent. Means what? Tad asat shabdavacham pragutpatte. So before creation, it was designated by the world unreal, stimita, stimitam, anispandam, asadiva, satkaryaभिमुखम, ईषद उपजात pravrutti sad asit. So sad asit means it got a tendency towards manifesting. That is the egg state. It became like sprout to manifest, not yet tree or flowers, but the tendency towards manifestation. That is called it became Sat. It became Sat means it got the tendency. That is the subtler meaning between the words. And that is what Shankar is explaining. It became manifest does not mean it became manifested suddenly. It got a tendency towards manifestation. प्रवृत्ति सदासीत ततो लब्ध परिस्पंदम तत्समभवत अल्पतर नाम रूप व्याकरणेन अंकुरीभूतमिव बीजम. So from that egg, if sprout comes out, then that means some manifestation of name and form is coming. So that is the equivalence between the symbology and the thing signified. It became sprouted means a little tendency towards manifestation of name and form came. Tadbhava andam samavartata samvrutam. So when it becomes slightly grossified, it became egg. It got some nebulae form, though not full. Andam iti dairgyam chandasam. Instead of anda, it has become anda. That is Vedic speciality. Tad andam samvatsarasya kalasya prasiddhasya matram parinama abhinna swarupam eva ashayate sthitam babhuva. So, year is a time. So, for some fixed time, that is called year. For some fixed time, it lay within, with the tendency of manifestation. Tat tataha samvatsara parinamat kaladurdvam. So, after that fixed time, different plants have different fixed times. All they are represented by 1 year. 1 year does not represent here 12 months or any such thing, but it means the proper time for the manifestation of each type of individuals. Then after that time, it became manifested. Urdhvam niravidyata nirvinnam vayasamiva andam. So, just like the eggs of birds, it broke and then the small chicks came out. There, all the organs are there. Tasya niravinnasya andasya kapale dve rajatam cha suvarnam cha abhavatam samrutte. Abhavatam means happened. What happened? Two shells called silver and gold. Tad yad rajatam sa iyam prithvi yad suvarnam sa jauhu yad jarayu te parvata yad ulbam samedho niharo vaya damana yasta nadyoho yad vas asteyam udakam sa samudraha. So when it becomes breaking the egg, then see what nature comes out. That shell which was the silver, the lower shell became this earth. And that which was gold became the heaven. Now in that, and there was a Jaraveshtan, the mucus covering, the light skin covering, what we call the Garbha covering, was gross covering is the mountains. The Ulba, Jarayu and Ulba. Ulba is the subtle covering. Subtle covering is the cloudy, foggy sky. Those where nerves are the rivers. And your water in the bladder are oceans. So this is the symbology for imagination. That tayoho kapalayoho, out of those two shells, yad rajatam kapalam asit, that shell which was silver, sa iyam prithvi, prithvi upalakshitam adho anda kapalam ityartha. So here prithvi represents the lower nature, the lower part of shell. Yat suvarnam kapalam sa dev dyurloka upalalakshitam urdhvam kapalam ityartha. So it represents the higher words. Yad rayu garbhaparishtitam sthulam andasya. So egg has a gross covering and a subtle covering. Now that gross covering, Dvishakali bhava kale asit. So when it was breaking into two shells, we have one thick covering, one thin covering. So that thick covering is like the mountains. That which was the directly covering that bird as a only in the womb, directly covering that womb, there is a thin covering. And that cloudly or hazy, star-like means avashyayo, means fog. So fog came. Ya garbhasya jatasya dehe damanaya shira. So when it is born out, then it has nerves and they became the rivers. So how the individual egg means the cosmic egg, how it shows the lower part in the nature is being described. Yat tasya vastu bhavam vasteyam udakam sa samudra. So original mantra says vasteyam. That means water in the bladder. So samudra, they are seen as oceans. So every part of that lower shell has been shown as on this earth, different things. Atha yat tad ajayata so asau adityaha tam jayamanam ghosha ululavo anudatiष्ठन् सर्वाणि च भूतानि सर्वे च कामा तस्मात् तस्य उदयं प्रति प्रत्यायनं प्रति घोषा उलुलवो अनुत्तिष्ठन्ति सर्वाणि च भूतानि sarvecha kama. So that which came out is the original sun. As soon as it came out, a big noise came out. From that big noise, from that big sound, all the jivas and their bhoga samagri, enjoyers and enjoyed, everything come out of that big sound. And so when the sun rises and sun sets, we get big sounds in this world. And we see all the beings, we see all the objects of enjoyment only when it rises and closes when it sets. So similarity happening in the nature is being shown as the process of creation. Atha yat tat ajayat garbharupam tasmin ande. So from that egg, garbha, that nebula comes out. So Aditya, that very sun comes out. Tasmad tam adityam jayamanam ghosha shabda ulu ulava ururavo vistirna rava udatishtan uttitavanta. So spreading everywhere, big sound comes out. So he gives a simile. In a king's palace, a new babe is born. And how many trumpets and everything is sounded at that time. Similarly, at the time of creation, big sounds come. Ishwarasya iva iya pratama putra janmani. Ishwar means Lord, means King. सर्वाणि च स्थावर जंगमानि भूतानि सर्वे च तेषां भूतानां कामः काम्यन्ते इति विषया स्त्री वस्त्र अन्नादयः. So here says people and their desire. Desires means desired objects. And unfortunately, in the desired objects, he says women, clothing, etc. It is misfortune that Shankar represents Sri as object of enjoyment. It is a Muslim idea, not Indian idea at all. On this matter, we shall quarrel with Shankaracharya. Woman does not have a soul. Woman is not a person. Woman does not enjoy herself. Okay. In man-woman sex relation, woman is the object of enjoyment. He is the enjoyer. That is all right. But don't generalize it. Yasmad aditya janma nimitta bhuta kamotpatti tasmad adyatvepi tasya adityasya udayam prati pratyayanam pratyastagamanam cha prati. So, because Aditya is represented, so Aditya's coming and going is being equated. Or you may say, every day he is coming, every day he is going, like that. Or, then nimitti krutya iti artha. So, all the sounds, all the beings, all the objects are due to light and darkness. Ulu lavascha, so spreading sound. Anutishtanti prasiddham hi etad udayadau savitu. So that is well known about the sun's rising and setting. You see, birds make terrible sound when the sun rises. And birds make again terrible sound when the sun is about to set. That is true. So that sound is being represented. And those sounds declare that beings are there, objects are there. The sounds again declare for the night that beings are there and objects are there. Okay? So, in a way, correct. As I said, during sex, man dominates, enjoys, women like to be enjoyed. Then only the world goes on. स एतम एवं विद्वान आदित्यम ब्रह्म इति उपास्ते. So, upasana gives a result. So, when Aditya is worshipped as a symbol of sun because of all the description given up till now, then that Vidwan, that knower, means that worshipper. Abhyashoha yad enam sadhavo ghosha. He himself becomes that Aditya, and very good sounds come to him, and they give him happiness, pleasure, and doubling of that is ending of this topic. स एतमेव विद्वान् आदित्यं ब्रह्म इति उपास्ते अभ्यासोः यद् एनं साधवो घोषा आ च गच्छेयु उप च निम्रेडे रन्. So this grammar a च गच्छेत, agachet has been broken and word inserted in that. So, meaning is like that. One who knows this, one worships like that. As Aditya itself is Brahman, he becomes Aditya. He becomes identified, unified with this Guna Brahman. And many sounds follow him, come to him, and happiness, pleasure he gets, So, one whosoever, Yaha means who. Shankar says it means whosoever. In such context in Mandukya Karika Bhashya, Shankaracharya says, Striyadayo api. Women also, because some gender has to be used in Sanskrit. So, ya means masculine, ya is being used, but it should include everybody. And so, here also, as I said, Stris also are subjects, are beings. So, they also are included. Yathokta Mahimanam Vidwan, son, knowing this glory, that knower means worshipper, Adityam Brahma iti upaste, worships sun as Aditya as Brahman, so sadbhavam pratipadyate iti artha, it becomes like that. Kincha drishtam phalam, something is seen outside also, abhyasha means Kshipram, quickly. Tad vidaha, yad iti kriya visheshanam. So, yad here is adverb. Enam evam vidam sadhava shobhana ghosha. So, sounds which are good, beautiful. Enam evam vidam sadhuttam ghoshadinam yad upabhoge papa anubandha bhava. So that enjoyment which a man with cosmic personality does, there is no fault there. And so it is said that good sounds come to him, good bhogas come to him. That goodness is the absence of what happens when you are individual, not cosmic, not identified with Brahman, then all those enjoyments are bad. But when your consciousness is raised, then what you enjoy is not bad at all. So this is the glory of being union with the Saguna Brahma. Acha Gacheyu. Agacheyu has been broken into Agacheyu. Upacha Nimrederan. Upanimrederancha na kevalam Agamanamatram Goshanam Upasukhayeyu cha Upasukham cha Kuryu ityartha. So it is not only that sounds come to him, but they bring enjoyment. So this is all ending in good enjoyment, cosmic enjoyment. Virabhyaso adhyaya parisamaप्त्यर्थम आदरार्थम च. So here repetition is completing the chapter. And because of love and respect for that topic. So here we come to the end of 19th section. Simultaneously we come to the end of 3rd chapter of the Upanishad. So we picked up 3rd chapter at 14th section, Chandilya Vidya, and then many worships, upasanas, helping that Chandilya Vidya were told up to section 19. Thus ends the 3rd chapter. We did not read previous. They were peculiar appearance in the present context. But Chandilya Vidya was a great thing. And all others after Chandilya Vidya were nothing but supportive upanishads, upasanas, so that we are able to do the Chandilya Vidya properly and get its fruit. And Chandilya Vidya was peaceful, knowing that everything has come out of Brahman. They are all Brahman only. Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, which make us tranquil in life and which make us go towards that upasana by firmness and steadiness. That is what was told in the 14th section, and all other 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 are supportive of that upasana, and so we read them. So here it comes the end of 33rd chapter. Now, 4th chapter will be many stories, many spiritual values, many wonderful results of that spiritual values. We'll come to that. Next, 15th of January, we'll start with 4th chapter. Om Apyayantu mamangani vakpranashchakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastu anirakaranamastu tadatmani nirate upanishadsu dharma te mahi santu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.